In this video, we're going to talk about common PPC definitions. So we already know what PPC is, so now you're going to hear about a couple other words, and I want to make sure that you're familiar with them before you continue learning about PPC. The first one is customer search term. This is the word that is used by a customer to look for a specific product by Amazon. So whatever keyword that they actually enter into the actual search box, it's not actually a keyword, it's a customer search term. A keyword is the keyword used by a seller, by you or I or our client, to advertise a product. So we would enter 4D Lash Mascara, but that could be on the customer's end a customer search term. So whatever the customer enters in the search bar is a customer search term. Whatever we enter in the back end to advertise our product is a keyword. And I know that can be confusing at first, but just understand the keyword is by the advertiser, the search term is by the actual client or the person that is the customer that is looking to buy the product. The next term is the CPC bid. That is the maximum bid you are willing to pay when someone clicks on your advertisement. So that is basically the cost per click bid. And then there are a couple campaign types you should be familiar with. They are automatic and manual. Automatic meaning that the match types is all broad. Manual meaning that you'll enter your own keywords and it could be broad, exact, or phrase. A couple more definitions are impressions. I know you've heard me say that a few times. That means the number of times a customer sees your advertisement. So every single time the ad shows up, that is one impression. And if 20 people see that one impression, that is 20 impressions. A click is when someone actually clicks on an impression to see your actual page. CTR, or click-through rate, is the comparison of clicks to impression, and what you're generally shooting for on Amazon is 0.30%. That is a pretty decent click-through rate. Obviously, you want to get that a lot higher. That's one of the metrics Amazon looks at when they decide whether or not to serve your actual product in the ad auction. So the higher the click-through rate, the better. Conversion rate is the percentage of time you got an order based on your clicks. So what percent of the time did you actually get an order? Other important things to understand that we'll cover later are ACOS, also sounds like ACOS, campaign ad group, sales, order, and spend that you spend on the actual ads. So what we need to start in order to do all this PPC is to create a daily campaign budget so we don't go over budget or spend more than we want to. And where we'll do this is we'll click on advertising, then campaign manager, then we'll go to the advertising settings and we'll set a daily budget cap. And what it looks like is like this. When you go into advertising, you'll click on advertising settings, and right here you can notice that I set a daily budget cap of $500 per day. So with campaigns, we're going to start with 2 core campaigns, then we can look to expand after that. But for now, we're going to start with 2 very core campaigns. The first one is going to be an automatic campaign, and the second one is going to be a manual campaign. And the next time we will go ahead and talk about a campaign that we can do in the future, which will be for our profitable keywords that we found in the automatic and manual campaign. And we also want to put in keywords with a high click-through rate, and we can expand on additional keywords. But we're going to set this up quick and dirty, and we're going to do an automatic and a manual. And so campaign 1, we're going to create an automatic campaign, and we'll do that here. I'll show you how it looks on the actual slideshow in a minute. So we're going to create an automatic campaign used for discovering new keywords. And we're going to have separate ad groups for product variations. So let's say that you have a t-shirt. You're selling a blue t-shirt and a black t-shirt. They will be in 2 separate ad groups, and you'll see what I mean here in a second. We're going to set it to an automatic campaign, and we're going to bid between 75 cents to $1.50 per click. And our budget is going to be capped at $10 per day. And then we're going to separate groups for each child SKU. And we're going to run these for 4 weeks. And then we're going to cut that bid in half. Campaign number 2 is going to be a manual campaign. And again, we're going to separate the ad groups for variations. We're going to bid $1.50 or whatever Amazon suggests that we bid, and our budget is going to be $20 to $30. Now you decide what you can spend, but if you recall during the advertising section, when I was trying to get you to set your client expectations, I told you to let them know that you expect to spend between $20 and $30 a day on advertising. Now again, we're going to separate groups for each child SKU, and we're going to have one for broad, one for phrase, one for exact, and I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. And then we're going to run this for 6 weeks and then reduce the default bid to half. Your initial keywords are the highest keyword volume. These are the ones that you want to run. So you want no more than 20 to 30 keywords with high keyword volume. So what you want to do is you want to maximize the money you can spend on just this core group of words before you expand into more words. Like, don't get started with hundreds or thousands of keywords, because you're just going to blow money on all sorts of things when you can blow it on the keywords that can possibly perform the best for you. 80% of sales come from 20% of keywords. If I have several variations under one listing, I prefer to run one variation at a time and continue to add another one later. So what I mean by that is, if my best-selling t-shirt is a black t-shirt, I won't run the blue t-shirt. I'll start with the black t-shirt, just fire everything at that for a couple weeks, and then start adding the other product variations. So let's first go into the generating reports and make sure that our reporting is set up, and then I'll jump into showing you how we create some of these campaigns. So under reports, you'll want to click on advertising reports, and then you'll want to click on sponsored products. And the two types, the main type of report we're going to want to create is make sure that we can get a search term report created. So I'll click on create report, and right here it'll generate reports. And that's how you would go about and make sure that you're set up to generate this actual report. Now, to create the campaign, we're going to go and jump into that in the next actual module. So make sure that you are set up for reporting. Make sure that you have all your budgets in place and you have everything ready to go for the next module, so we can show you exactly how you start a campaign.